What is up YouTube, James Baek here, and welcome back to another episode of VGC 17 Breakneck Blitz. Today we are using a brand new team with the team of Garchomp, Ninetales, Arcanine, Mandibuzz, Circuitry, and Tapu Lele. Let's just get straight into it. But today we're going to be using this team created by Sam Pandelis, who got second place at the Pokemon World Championship in VGC 2017 with it. So let's just get started. We've already used this for one episode, and if you haven't already checked out that episode, I highly recommend go check it out. But this team has been a pretty strong showing so far, but let's see if we can keep up that potential positive record here as we find Palkia of VGC from France with 1521 rating. Actually, I believe I faced this person at a regional. I don't remember which regional it was. Maybe it was a national. It actually might have been nationals. I think it was nationals actually in 2017. So we're going to see the Tapu Lele, Buzzwole, Milotic, Porygon Z, Smeargle, and Arcanine. Now this isn't going to be very fun because I can't tell what kind of strategies my opponent could have. It's probably Z conversion on Porygon Z, but could be the Trick Room Breakneck Blitz. With Tapu Lele, I kind of want to I want to more lean towards the potential of Z conversion because it looks like it would protect the Porygon Z from priority attacks. This is gonna be quite interesting. It really depends on what kind of Porygon Z set that is. And also, I don't really have ways to stop like Spore or Map Block from my opponent, do I? I do have Roar on my Ninetales, which, you know, could be helpful. It just depends on what kind of Z conversion that Porygon Z is. If it's electric type, my Garchomp Ninetales lead seems pretty solid in this matchup. If it's not, though, it could be really problematic. So I think I do want to go Ninetales plus my Garchomp here. I think it's very solid in this matchup. I think Tapu Lele is also very solid in this matchup. And I think I want to go Mandibuzz for speed control. Like, there are a bunch of factors here that I think could have happened here. I think Arcanine, Circuitry were also decent picks here, but I don't want to deal with that Milotic, and I think bringing Circuitry with Tapu Lele and having no speed control is kind of weak, especially since I'm facing a Porygon Z. So we'll see what happens here, but if it's Porygon Z, I'm probably going to just go for Roar, Tectonic Rage, or should I just Icy Wind turn 1? I guess both are decent plays here. Like, I'm gonna lead my Garchomp plus Ninetales, and like, the thing is, I don't want to Icy Wind into a Map Block. If he goes for Follow Me, that's really problematic. So it's really a bunch of mind games turn 1. The question is, how do I probably prevent that worst case scenario, which could be that Map Block? Aurora Veil is very safe to set up, but I don't think I'll survive the Z conversion attack from Porygon Z, even through Aurora Veil with Ninetales. So I actually do want to go for a Tectonic. Actually, no. If it's Scar Smeargle, that's usually what they carry on these teams. I can Tectonic Rage knock out the Smeargle, and then Roar would go into Porygon Z. So it's going to be the Follow Me coming out. Good play, but we'll see what kind of Smeargle this. I mean, oh. So it looks like it's Scarf Porygon Z, which definitely is catching me by surprise here, unfortunately. So Garchomp goes straight down. That's not something I was anticipating, and I do roar out the Smeargle, which is pretty bad since I don't get to reveal its item or break its potential Focus Sash. So Buzzwole's gonna come in, which is actually probably most ideal here because now I get to bring out my Tapu Lele, and I think I'll go for Psyshock. I don't know. It depends on what kind of Buzzwole this is. I think I could Calm Mind here also, which is very safe. I actually do want to Calm Mind, and Auroraville I feel like is safe. I could also Icy Wind plus Psyshock. I don't know, Moonblast will KO, I believe, if it's not Assault Vest. It could be Phydium on this team, since it is Scarf Porygon Z. It could also be Z-Move Lele, so there are a bunch of factors here. I think Auroraville is the safest play. And I think Calm Minding up is a safe play because it allows me to beat Porygon Z later in the game. Wait, oh, it wasn't Scarf Porygon Z, right? It wasn't Scarf Porygon Z, we actually never confirmed that. It is going to be Z-Move Porygon Z, however, so we are going to see the Z, looks like Normalium Z? I don't know, could be Z conversion. I still have no idea what kind of set this is. It is going to be Breakneck Blitz. Okay, so luckily I got the Aurora Veil up, so no matter what, any of my Pokemon should be taking this attack. Maybe not Ninetales, but I would assume that Tapu Lele can at least handle this with the Aurora Veil. Still does a good chunk. Unfortunately, doesn't activate my berry, so if my opponent goes for Poison Jab, it might just be able to KO my Tapu Lele here. As we'll see here. as I do get the Calm Mind up, which is a bit significant, and the superpower actually coming out from my opponent into the Ninetales. Oh, I thought that was a crit for a second. I'm like, what? So, not too bad, not too bad. However, unfortunately, Tapu Lele is getting weakened quite a bit, but I don't feel like it's a bad situation at all, specifically because I can go for an Icy Wind here and a Protect, I feel like. So it's not Scarf Porygon Z. It's probably just max speed then, because it doesn't look like a Trick Room variant. I'll just Icy Wind here because I want Tapu Lele to get its Berry back, and I don't really see a way my opponent can really stop Icy Wind Protect, get my take hail damage, then get my Berry back, so I'll be able to survive any next combination of attacks. I'll also be able to outspeed my opponent, which is pretty significant here, unless my opponent goes for a Trick Room here. I do land the Icy Wind, which is pretty significant against my opponent, and I will be able to get the Icy Wind off against these Pokemon. Nice. So both of these Pokemon speed will fall, and we're going to see the Tri-Attack come out into... was it? Hyper Beam, Ice Beam, Tri-Attack? I kind of doubt it. That had to be Hyper Beam. So Tri-Attack, Ice Beam, Hyper Beam, and probably Protect, as we see an attack in the Tapu Lele. I actually didn't catch the move, but we do activate our Berry here, which is very significant indeed, because we'll be able to heal that nice percentage. And yeah, I'm trying to think. Since my opponent did get the Beast Boost, I feel like since this Tapu Lele, I'm trying to think of what attack will most likely do the least amount of damage. I'm pretty sure the move that will do the least amount of damage depends. I think Porygon Z's attack, but then again, it's adaptability boosted. Poison Jab super effective, but still. And my opponent goes for Hyper Beam though, because Tri-Attack isn't really going to do anything unless it gets a status. It's pretty even. I think Porygon Z... I don't know, -1 Buzzwole, +1 special defense Tapu Lele. I think I'm going to Tailwind here 100% though, and go for the Psyshock into the Buzzwole, because I do want to try to pick up that knockout on Buzzwole before it gets a Poison Jab Poison, which is more likely than a Tri-Attack's effect. And if Porygon Z goes for something such as, let's say, the Hyper Beam, then it's fine, as Ice Beam is going to come out into my Mandibuzz, it looks like, but that's not really going to do too much with the Aurora Veil plus the Psychic Seed boost, and we get the Tailwind up, which is great here. The Tailwind is really going to be beneficial, as having that speed control is nice against any Pokemon on my opponent's team. Allows Lele to outspeed Scarf Smeargle. Scarf Smeargle, let's see, its base, let's see, it hits 139 naturally. Yeah, Tapu Lele should be faster. So what's my opponent's going to send out? It's going to be the Smeargle. And I'll just taunt that Smeargle. I'll taunt Protect. I don't care if you fake out Ice Beam, to be honest, because no matter what, a taunt in the Smeargle is very safe. There's not really a move that Smeargle can use that can really hurt me in this situation. Actually, why did I taunt Protect there when... Okay, well, what I was thinking about was potential fake out from the Smeargle, but I forget we're in Psychic Terrain. Probably should just attack the Porygon Z then. That is a bit unfortunate, and I'm kind of stalling out my Aurora Veil turns as well, so... Completely forgot. I don't know why. I haven't really been paying attention to terrains lately, as it's been showing my videos, but Protect from Tapu Lele, I guess it's a safe play, but I would have preferred going for like a Moonblast or something. So we do taunt the Smeargle here, as we're going to see the Spore and Ice Beam is going to come out once again into the Mandibuzz, but again, not doing too much damage, but would have been so nice to go for a Psyshock there. Hail is going to stop, so I have at least 3 more turns of Aurora Veil, as Smeargle going to get Evasion decrease, and I'll just go for the Roost here. And I think I'll just go for a Psyshock into the Porygon Z slot to try and pick up this knockout on Porygon Z. An offensive threat like off the field would be really nice, but this is not looking that great. I think Psychic Terrain's going to end. If Smeargle switches out, that's a bit problematic. Not sure if Smeargle's going to switch out, but I feel like you're in a bad position either way. You're probably going to be either forced to go for Fake Out, which isn't going to do anything. Maybe struggle if you don't have Fake Out, but I'm pretty sure you would have Fake Out on this team. Or, you know, you're going to risk something here. So let's see what's going to be coming out. My Lodic's going to come out. My Lodic's not really an offensive threat, so I'm actually okay with this, as I will be able to Psyshock the Porygon Z, and that should be able to pick up the knockout. Yes, so Game Rare Porygon Z is great there. The reason why Game Rare Porygon Z there is so great is because that was probably the Pokemon that was going to threaten the most offensive damage to my Tapu Lele. So Tapu Lele would have been taking a lot from Hyper Beam, even at +1. Psychic terrain does end, which means my Psyshocks won't be doing too much, but I feel like we're in an okay position here. I think I'll just go for Taunt into Smeargle, and I think a Psyshock into the Milotic, because it covers plays of like, because it covers all plays. Like if Smeargle protects, expecting my top lane to protect, Tailwind ends. Yeah, I'm definitely not protecting with Tapu Lele. I feel like going for the Taunt is in the Smeargle is vital, as this is my last turn of Tailwind, or at least I believe it is. Yes, it is. So I'll go for the Psyshock into the Milotic, because I don't want to hit Milotic with a Moonblast in case the special attack drop, which means Milotic's ability competitive will boost it up 2 stages of special attack, since Milotic's prime ability in VGC currently is the competitive ability. When a Pokemon stat falls, it will increase its special attack by 2 stages. So go for that Psyshock into Milotic, go for the Taunt into Smeargle. Smeargle goes for Fake Out, that's fine because I do get the Taunt off into Smeargle. But we're going to see the Fake Out in Mandibus, so that's great here. Most likely anticipating that Protect from Tapu Lele, as Psyshock is going to come out into Milotic. That did a lot. That actually did so much damage right there, as Mandibus not going to be taking these... Well, it's going to be taking these Ice Beams for days. The only thing I'm really worried about is a Freeze at this point, to be honest. But right here, I could just Tailwind Protect because it covers all plays for my opponent. And my opponent wants to go for Spore. I guess the only thing that's like really worrisome is Transform. But if it does carry Transform, I can't really stop it at this point anyway. So I'll go for Protect here, as my Milotic's going to Protect. I wonder what the Smeargle is going to go for. Do you actually have Transform? Doesn't really make much sense to have Transform on a team that doesn't look like have a setup Z conversion. So, is that Trick Room? No, it's a Spore. Okay. So Mandibus is faster than the Smeargle. Oh wait, didn't it get speed decrease? Okay, that makes sense then. I thought Smeargle was just slow for a second, but yeah. Wow, I'm really not paying attention this game. It's early in the morning, people, so forgive me. So, Taunt into Smeargle, Psyshock into Milotic, covers any play basically, and yeah, I really don't see how this Milotic can beat me. A crit Scald probably won't be doing too much anyway, and I still have my +1 special defense boost, and this is why Calm Mind Tapu Lele I thought would be really good in this game. Just gonna be putting in so much work, as we do see the Psyshock go into the Smeargle. Focus Sash is gonna activate. I do taunt a Smeargle, however, as my 3DS is blinking red. And okay, here's the charger. So my lug is gonna recover off, but that's fine because Smeargle is basically wasted for a few turns. Aurora Veil is going to go away. I forgot that we also had Aurora Veil still. Oh, jeez. Okay. Okay, capture card. Cooperate. So, not a big problem. I could just foul play to Smeargle and Psyshock to Milotic. Like, Milotic recovering is annoying. However, the fact is that Milotic cannot recover enough damage to where how much Psyshock is doing. As we're going to see the Feint from Smeargle. Okay, Feint is pretty cool here. However, Psyshock is going to go into Milotic. Will this pick up the knockout? I don't think it will. Yeah, it doesn't. As foul play will go into Smeargle, so Smeargle can no longer go for Feint, and I don't have to worry about Spore threat later in the game. And I'm pretty sure Mandibus will beat the Milotic 1v1 anyway, but Scald's going to come out. If it crits, burns, maybe my opponent has a chance, but not going to crit. Does get the burn, however, my opponent doesn't really have enough turns to stall out anything. As, yeah, burn damage, reduced to 1/16 of your opponent's health, where it used to be 1/8 in previous generations. Might have been able to do something, however, yeah, I can just go for foul play and Psyshock right here. Like, there's nothing my opponent can do. You would need a large number of protects here. Let's see. I didn't catch the burn damage. So Psyshock is going to come out. Foul play. How much does this burn do? Let's see. 64 to 53. So it's doing 11 each turn. So my opponent would need 5 more protects in a row. So that's 6 protects. I don't know how often that is, but it's definitely not very often. So we should have this game. The most protects I've ever seen is 3. Actually, I might have seen 4 as... Did Tailwind beat her out? Okay. Maybe I should have taunted Milotic. Actually, taunting Milotic might have been better, but I'm pretty sure Psyshock plus Foul Play would have been able to pick up the knockout. As, yeah, Side Shock just picks up the knockout on my Lodic, and that would be a good game to my opponent. So, really sloppy game performed by me. I think I really just ended up playing sloppy throughout the entire game. I forgot, like, straight out Ice Beam, and I forgot I didn't have a Roar Veil up, so Ice Beam would obviously KO. Even though, like, you know, this Garchomp is pretty bulky, it's not going to be appreciating Ice Beam from Porygon Z's high special attack stats. So, there were a bunch of plays I could have made better, but it ended up working out with how my opponent brought the Pokemon, and yeah, just getting up that Calm Mind and that Aurora Veil was just so crucial in that game. It was just able to, once I got the Calm Mind up, the Aurora Veil up, it was set up and go. That's basically how it was. I definitely could have played the first few turns better. I think Icy Wind wouldn't have been too bad as a first turn play, but again, I was really worried about map lock. Yeah, so there wasn't really much I could think. I don't know, it was just a bunch of mind games. Depends on the Smeargle's item. It looked like it was Sash in that case. It wasn't the Scarf, but if it was Scarf plus the Z conversion, which was really scary because, you know, Smeargle could go for Spore. Actually, like, I guess the play my opponent could have done was just then Spore the Ninetales, protect the Porygon Z, then Spore the Garchomp the following turn, and hope Ninetales stays asleep. So yeah, there were a bunch of errors, I think, with my plays that I made. So, but that's okay, we're still learning. Food King to win will be our second opponent today with the Muck, Tapu Koko, Kartana, Buzzwole, Pelipper, and Golduck. So this looks like a variant of Tommy's team. I have seen this team before. Rain matchup is going to be interesting, that's for sure. Rain matchup's going to be interesting. So I could go a bunch of things. Garchomp seems pretty good in this matchup if I do play my cards right. I'm just really worried about the potential Kartana. I think Mandibuzz plus Xurkitree is fine here. I think I want to go Ninetales Garchomp actually, because I feel like I'm going to need Garchomp for the Muck. Although, yeah, I think I need Garchomp for the Muck, because Muck is going to be an extremely annoying Pokemon to deal against with the Tapu Lele, Mandibuzz, and Ninetales, which is usually the Pokemon that I usually bring. And yeah, Tapu Lele is kind of weak to Kartana, so I don't really want to bring it here. But we'll see what my opponent leads. I'm going to lead my Mandibuzz Xurkitree here. As what does my opponent lead? It's going to be the Kartana Buzzwole. So my opponent's going to go straight out with the Kartana and the Buzzwole here. So that's okay here because I'm pretty sure I just get a free Tailwind up right away. And then next turn I can threaten the Kartana with Dazzling Gleam plus the Foul Play. So I feel like this is an okay play. Maybe I could have went for a Tail Glow, but I don't want to risk being knocked out here by, you know, potential Leaf Blade, maybe Bloom Doom. I kind of doubt it's Bloom Doom because Rain teams usually only runs one Z move, which is usually on the Golduck. So we're going to protect here. I'm pretty sure it'd be Sash, Kartana, maybe AV potentially, but I kind of doubt it. Maybe Scarf, as we do see the Leaf Blade and the Xurkitree, as I do get the Tailwind up. And let's see what the Buzzwole's going to go for. Maybe it's the Ice Punch Superpower. It's going to be Rock Slide, which is an... Oof, that's interesting because we don't really see that on Buzzwole. I think the only rock move I've really seen with Buzzwole is Stone Edge. That does a really good chunk to the Mandibuzz. Oh, it's a crit, that's why. Okay. I was just about to say, that did a lot, but okay, it's a crit. I think I could go for Gleam plus Foul Play. I guess the question is, does Gleam plus Foul Play KO? It might not. However, my opponent goes for the same play of Leaf Blade plus Rock Slide. I do get to knock out Kartana anyway. And if worst case scenario, Xurkitree goes down, I could go into Garchomp and potentially Earthquake here. So it's not too bad. So Gleam is going to come out into both of these Pokemon. It doesn't look like it's AV Kartana, so Foul Play might be able to pick up the knockout on Kartana right away. As it's Scarf Kartana. Okay, that's good to confirm. As Leaf Blade, unfortunately not activating my berry there. Here comes the Foul Play here into the Kartana, which is going to be able to pick up the knockout thanks to a critical hit. So if it was Sash Kartana, this play would have worked out, but it doesn't look like it. As no, it's just Rock Slide, so that's okay here because Xurkitree is going to be able to eat the berry. And Mandibuzz is still hanging on and can roost the following turn. So all of these are pretty good. And now I get to determine whether my opponent brought the Rain Mode or not. Pelipper or Golduck's most likely coming out here. If I doubt Pelipper would really come in. The reason I doubt Pelipper would come in is because if you... Oh, wow, Pelipper does come in. Okay. So I really just don't know if my opponent is going to go for a Tailwind of his or her own here. But... Buzzwole's still an annoying Pokemon to deal with, however. I think I have to accept it here. I'll go into Ninetales here, and I think I'll go for the Thunderbolt into the Pelipper, because I don't want my opponent to set up a Tailwind here. If my opponent sets up a Tailwind, that's pretty bad for me. Although I guess I could have protected. I could have protected circuitry, however, I'm pretty sure my opponent might try to risk Tailwind here. And if my opponent does risk Tailwind here, then I can get rid of the Pelipper, I win the Weather War, and I can Icy Wind with Ninetales later in the game. So I don't feel like it's too bad of a play here. As, yeah, my opponent does risk the Pelipper here. So Thunderbolt's going to go into Pelipper, which brings it down to its Focus Sash. And that is going to allow Hail to pick up the knockout. And even if my opponent, you know, goes for like... Oh, it's actually going to be Scald, so no Tailwind. So that's great for me. And Scald's not going to pick up the knockout on circuitry thanks to the Hail. Rock Slide's going to keep coming out from this Buzzwole, so this Buzzwole's just liking to just go for this Rock Slide here, but that's not bad for me at all. Unfortunately, like, this Buzzwole's still a big threat to me, which is the ironic part, as Beast Boost is going to activate Fred and Buzzwole and get the attack boost. However, this is still problematic. I do get rid of Pelipper, however. Yeah, I do get rid of Pelipper, however. So I could go into Garchomp here. I could also go into Mandibuzz. I think Garchomp is to play here. And let's see. I could disable the Buzzwole potentially. It's actually Muck in the back, so it's not the Golduck. So if I can figure out how to handle this Buzzwole, I feel like the game is ours. So Icy Wind isn't really necessary on the Buzzwole here, depending on its set. If it's a Roarville, however, that is a bit of a problem. If I had Roarville and Swords Dance, like, I could potentially live the Ice Punch from Buzzwole. The only problem is if I don't. If I don't, that's a problem. If I do, it's game winning, I think. I feel like the play is to a Roarville here and Swords Dance. I gotta hope that I think I put myself in the position. Okay, Muck is gonna protect here. I think I put myself in the position where I need to go for the Auroraville here, because Auroraville might allow my Garchomp to live the Ice Punch. I am not 100% sure on this calc, so we'll see here. As I am gonna Swords Dance up. Also, Buzzwole could actually be faster than my Ninetales, which is something. Well, my Garchomp, which could be scary. Ice Punch is going to come out. Maybe I should protect Disable, but I wasn't sure if Muck would go for the protect. And unfortunately, gets it. I maybe am regretting not bringing the Tapu Lele here. Well, then again. Okay, no matter what, if I brought Tapu Lele instead of Garchomp, the Muck would have still been a threat to handle because I can't really beat Muck. I think no matter what, my Pokemon choices were, I guess, pretty poor here. I get to bring out Mandibuzz, so is there really a chance of me winning? I think I could go for Icy Wind here. Yeah, maybe I should have Icy Wind instead of Aurora Veiled, then maybe Foul. Actually, I think Icy Wind plus Tectonic Rage would have been able to knock out Buzzwole with the Hail, and maybe I could have won with Mandibuzz plus Ninetales on the field. So maybe that was something I could have done. Now I think I have to go for like a double Rock Slide miss, as we will go for the Icy Wind here. And hope that we are able to KO this Buzzwole. I kind of doubt though, because Foul Play is not really going to do too much. Buzzwole has a massive defense stat, even if it's at +2. We actually do get the Foul Play off, so if this does somehow pick up the knockout, that would be a miracle. It does pick up the knockout. Okay, we're still in this game. Depends on what Muck does. Are you going to go for a Poison Jab? It is going to be Poison Jab, and it's going to go into the Ninetales. So Ninetales is down and out. However, 1, we have the Hail up, so this Muck is taking chip damage. 2, we have Roost. It really comes down to what kind of Muck set this is. Yeah, so actually we are able to. Luckily, that was a slow Buzzwole. However, yeah, I have to Roost here. 100%, because if my opponent gets a Poison Jab poison here, I would go down. So I have to Roost here. Mandibuzz can potentially 1v1 the Muck, which is what I'm going to try to attempt here. Maybe I should just went for the Tectonic Rage. I think Tectonic Rage would have been the better play there, as Poison Jab is going to come out into the Mandibuzz. It doesn't get the poison, which is really significant here. Foul Play should be doing like 20 to 25% on Muck, so it's not too bad. However, the 50% berry is still, you know, a concern. I still have a lot of turns of Auroraville, and I have to use them wisely here. So I'll go for the Foul Play here. I will only go for Roost when I really need to. This Foul Play does a really significant chunk to that Muck. It's about 25%, so well, I have to go for 4 Foul Plays. I somehow have to get 4 Foul Plays off. As Poison Jab's going to come out. Luckily, I still have Roost. However, my opponent can always crit and doesn't get the poison here. Very fortunate. as I will be able to go for the foul play once again, and I'll roost the following turn. Although Shadow Sneak, I guess, could be something from Muck if Poison Jab. Well, no, Shadow Sneak shouldn't KO. So my opponent is going to stall out the Aurora Veil turns. Smart. Very smart. And let us see. This is going to be a really close one. So foul play into Muck. 100%. This is going to be very risky here. As, let's see, my opponent gets the Poison Jab. Poison. If it's Poison Jab, Poison, it might be game. As Poison Jab's gonna go into the Mandibuzz. I guess it's a crit. We actually had a chance to win, but unfortunately, not gonna take it. But that's alright. I think it was acceptable. I think we had a decent shot of winning. But yeah. It's Pokemon. He was like, when you're playing that long, kind of stall out, that standoff, you're bound to get crit at some point. So unfortunately, maybe the better play would have been to roost there, but I rather like. I think I had to like risk not getting the crit there because stalling at the Aurora Veil turns was pretty bad for me. I feel like I needed to get the damage off the turns where, you know, I was going to be able to survive Poison Jab with the Aurora Veil up and then roost off. I think I also did play poorly in the game overall. Like, I did call the Pelipper not protecting, but I did lose my Xurkitree, which was like the prime answer for getting rid of Buzzle because I was really worried about a Tailwind there. And then my opponent maybe having Golduck in the back and then Golduck potentially like sweeping me. Alright, sorry about that. So, the third game I had, my opponent ended up DCing kind of like in the middle of the game, and to be honest, like, the game was kind of already long, and it was like there was no clear determined winner. Like, I think I was down by a lot, but I still had potential to win the game, so overall, like, I don't know, I felt like it was a match that could kind of be undecided, sort of. Like, I guess I could say my opponent was probably winning and was probably going to win the game, but I still had, like, outs, so yeah, so I'm going to start with this one. We got Yui 1601 for our third game of today. Interesting combinations. Ninetales Gigalith. I don't know why this thing is common, actually. Actually, it looks like a fake PG. There's no electric type, though. And a Ninetales instead. So that is really interesting. It also makes Celesteela matchup. Like, I wonder how you deal with that. Like, you only have Arcanine for that Celesteela matchup. Maybe you're Soak on Feeny, which could make some potential sense. The problem is I don't see Sam's team winning against Soak Feeny, which is a problem. Definitely a problem. So, Soak Feeny kind of makes some 50-50s. Soak Feeny really makes some 50-50s. I can't really bring Ninetales into this because of the Gigalith factor. So I think Ninetales has to stay out. Mandibuzz looks okay here. Tapu Lele also looks okay here. Arcanine might want to come. Yeah, Arcanine's looking good. I don't really like Tapu Lele in this matchup, though. I do like pretty much everything else except the Tapu Lele. I like Mandibuzz, I like Xurkitree, I like Arcanine, and I like Garchomp a lot. So I think I want to go Mandibuzz, Arcanine, which seems pretty solid. Garchomp and Xurkitree in the back. We'll see how this goes, because I feel like this also counters the Soak potential for my opponent. However, yeah, I can't stop Aurora Veil. And my opponent gets Aurora Veil up and I don't. That's pretty bad for me. But I feel like this is the best potential. This is literally, I think, the best potential for me to do well in this set. Because of the fact, well, not set, game. Because of the fact that if I bring Ninetales, I have to play the mind games with, like, I have to play mind games with the Tapu Lele. So we're going to see the Tapu Fini plus Porygon 2 Elite, which I was not expecting at all. So this is a completely different switch up. It's not Scarfini, so I do confirm that. However, the lead so far is not looking good for me at all. Ironically, Lele would have been a decent setup here because I could taunt and, you know. Unfortunately, I can't tell what kind of Fini this set is. I could taunt and go for switch into Xurkitree. I mean, Muddy Water's probably coming out. Yeah. I think this is still a problem, but we'll see here what happens. I'm gonna switch out my Arcanine, go into my Xurkitree, taunt this Porygon. We'll see how much Muddy Water does, because I'm hoping Muddy Water doesn't do too much. We're gonna see the double out here into Arcanine, so that's not too bad, I guess. I mean, we'll see what the Fini does. Could go for like a Moonblast. A Moonblast would definitely be threatening to my Mandibuzz here. As we're going to see Calm Mind. Okay, so my opponent's going to go for Calm Mind. That's quite scary here. That is quite scary here. And the question is, I don't know what you target down. Do you double target the Mandible slot to prevent like a Tailwind from being set up, or do you go for like just some attacks? Like, do you go for the double up into circuitry here? So this is definitely looking a bit hard. Although I think Tailwind is the correct play here, as well as I think I want a Tail Glow because I do expect a double in the Mandibuzz, to be honest. If I'm being completely honest, I do expect a double in the Mandibuzz. So I'm actually going to Tail Glow right here with Circuitry and Tailwind, because actually maybe Arcanine might have been the play, because I could switch into Arcanine. But I don't think I'll live a Moonblast plus Flare Blitz. Ooh, we're going to see the Protect from Feeny instead, which is really solid here. And a Flare Blitz is going to go off, targeting down, I think. Circuitry? Yeah, Circuitry. It has to be Circuitry. That did so much damage, and unfortunately does not proc my berry. That is really bad. I do get my Tail Glow up, which is really good, because I will be able to knock out the Feeny now. However, now it's some mind games here. What does Arcanine go for? Does it go for like an extreme speed? Does it go for like, I don't know, does it have, is that banded? I think it has to be banded. Actually, if it's banded, I could go for Foul Play into the Arcanine and a Protect here. Like, that Flare Blitz did so much damage, and this Circuitry is probably physically defensive, so I would imagine it's banded here. And if it's Extreme Speed coming out, I could always switch in my Arcanine the following turn. Yeah, it's Extreme Speed. So I could have Thunderbolt to switch into Arcanine, and I think that would have activated my berry. But alas, I do not. Here comes the Foul Play into the Arcanine. Does so much damage. It's a berry, so that's just like max attack. That literally is like max attack here. And we're going to see the Calm Mind set up again from the Feeny. Okay. So this Feeny is really wanting to set up here. So I don't know what my opponent's going to go for. Taunt does wear off from the Arcanine. If you're going to go for Extreme Speed, Arcanine is my play. I am kind of worried, however, because I don't know what my opponent's going to do. Like, Flare Blitz Protect is a very okay play here for my opponent. I feel like you would Moonblast a Mandibuzz or Flare Blitz with Arcanine. So you know what? I'm actually going to Thunderbolt the Arcanine slot, because what this allows me to do is if I Thunderbolt the Arcanine slot, I'll be able to get rid of it. I get to win a mind game of whether Feeny protects or goes for Moonblast here, because I feel like you would Moonblast here if anything, because you want to get rid of my Mandibuzz to prevent Taunt from later in the game. So we're going to see the Extreme Speed, which unfortunately is going to activate my berry, but I didn't target down the Feeny, which could have been really helpful here. And we'll see what the Feeny goes for. If it's Muddy Water, that's devastating here. We'll be able to get a Thunderbolt off into the Arcanine. So Arcanine will be going down here. That's really good. So Arcanine goes down here. I do get a Beast Boost, which will be my special attack stat. And we are going to see, yep, Moonblast into the Arcanine. So my board positioning here isn't great either. Yeah, my board positioning isn't great here either. Porygon 2 can come in and probably set Trick Room up. Yeah. The question is, does +4 Thunderbolt plus Flare Blitz might be able to knock out the Porygon 2? It might be able to. Helping Hand might. It really depends on what kind of Porygon 2 this set is. I can't tell if it would be physically or especially defensive. Flare Blitz would do a lot of damage to the Porygon 2. Would do 30% normally. Helping Hand Thunderbolt like seems like a good option, but I don't think that's going to KO either way. I think I'm going to Flare Blitz Thunderbolt here. I wonder if Feeny attacks or not, but I think you would protect Trick Room here. Or not, you're going to go straight for the offensive. Okay, so Thunderbolt going to go into the Porygon 2. Yeah, that did so much damage. I'm not out of this yet, though, thankfully. As we will get the Flare Blitz into Porygon 2. Okay. And I'm guessing a Muddy Water here. Muddy Water misses, that's huge here, but we'll see here. Muddy Water, Arcanine to voice the attack. That is absolutely huge here. I should have Thunderbolted the Feeny. I guess, like, you don't take that risk of do you survive or not with Porygon 2. So, yeah, I guess it makes sense. Thunderbolt should have gotten a Feeny and a Flare Blitz. Yeah, that would have been the better play. Garchomp can come out here. I wonder what my opponent's last Pokemon is. If it's Ninetales, that's problematic. If it is Ninetales, that's problematic. It's Gigalith. Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting, to be honest. That's how, like, my opponent was playing. So, Gigalith is going to come out here. Helping Hand Tectonic Rage looks so good against my opponent right now, and I think that is the play I want to go for. Because Helping Hand Tectonic Rage will knock out the Feeny, and even if like my opponent protects, Helping Hand Earthquake will probably knock out the Feeny the following turn. Although, how much health is my Mandibuzz at? It's at full, so it won't die to Rock Slide. Actually, what I want to do is double protect. I think I double protect here to scout for a Feeny protect.
or Tectonic Rage, because I feel like that's the safer play overall. Because if Feeney goes for Protect and Gigalith gets the KO on Arcanine, I can't Helping Hand Earthquake the following turn, and that could put me in a detrimental position here. Gigalith's gonna Protect, okay. Moonblast, okay. I'm really playing mind games with my opponent because I can't tell my opponent's like inviting me to go for the Tectonic Rage and baiting it. I really can't. If I help me at Tectonic Rage, I did win the game there. We're going for it. Does Feeney Protect? Helping Hand comes out from the Arcanine. Okay, it doesn't, and that should seal it. I want to assume it seals it. So Helping Hand Tectonic Rage. This will 100% knock out the Feeney. I don't care what kind of Feeney you are. You are going down. I don't care if you're max HP, max defense. This should guarantee the knockout on Feeney, especially after the sand chip damage. So, +1 technically Tectonic Rage. We'll be able to come out onto the top of Feeney. We'll be able to pick up the knockouts. The top of Feeney goes down, and the Gigalith here goes for Continental Crush, it looks like, into my Garchomp. I'd assume it's Garchomp. Continental Crush, or if you're targeting out an Arcanine, but I don't get that if you're targeting an Arcanine. I think it has to be Garchomp. No, it's Arcanine. Wow, okay. So that works. I'm surprised you go for Continental Crush if all attacks there, though. Maybe worried about Wild Charge? Well, Arcanine's gonna go down here. I get Mana Buzz in, I can taunt 100% and go for Sword Stance because that prevents the 1, a weakness policy, 2, Curse or Wide Guard, stall me out. So yeah, I 100% will be able to win this game because I don't think my opponent can do anything here unless you're HP Ice, but I don't think HP Ice knocks out Garchomp. Stone Edge definitely won't be able to pick up the knockout. Yep, the match is gonna be forfeited, and we do take the 3rd game today. So yeah, there was very unfortunate for my opponent, like that the miss on the Arcanine was huge because of the Helping Hand. Like the fact of having Helping Hand available was huge because Tectonic Rage doesn't usually knock out Feeney unless this one had like very low bulk investment. That was the only way I probably could have potentially won with Sand Turns plus the Garchomp, but otherwise it would have been extremely hard to win. But yeah, I think there were definitely a few plays I could have played better if looking back at the battle. Like, I think targeting on the Feeney was probably the better play because Thunderbolt plus Flare Blitz. I kind of underestimated Circuitry. I honestly thought Thunderbolt was going to do like 60%, to be completely honest, but doing 90% just amazed me. So maybe knowing if I knew that calc better, I probably would Thunderbolt the Feeney, because if you're my opponent, I don't think you can take the risk of does Porygon 2 survive this, because if you survive the double attack, you have to trick him up, you're in a golden position. But if you don't, then you have to attack with Feeney there. But the problem was, I guess, let me think, if that does happen, I Thunderbolt the Feeney, get the KO, Porygon 2 sets up Trick Room, then I'm in a really bad spot, aren't I? Because you could Trick Room with, I mean, you have Trick Room with Porygon 2. Porygon 2 is healthy. You have Gigalith. Gigalith can pick up a double knockout there with like Rock Slide and Ice Beam combination. So actually, yeah, it looks like getting rid of Porygon 2 was my better option there. And I basically had to somehow get rid of that. Yeah, I had to somehow find a way across that top of Feeney. But yeah, I think there are a few turns I could have probably capitalized. One, the turn where my opponent went for, I think it was Extreme Speed Calm Mind, when I could have switched into Arcanine, made the Hard Read and Tail Glow, but I just didn't really know the damage output. I couldn't tell if like that was Bandit, but then again, I think Bandit might have just been able to pick up the knockout circuitry or activate the berry at least. So it made more sense. But like, if my opponent didn't have Extreme Speed, because let's say my opponent didn't have Extreme Speed, you would go for Flare Blitz there anyway, and if that's the case, I lost circuitry, it would have been very tough for me to come back in the game overall. Leads could have definitely been adjusted. And yeah, I think my opponent did play well throughout that set. I just got a bit bailed out there. Although, again, I think it might have came down to the top of Feeney spread, how much chip damage I was able to get. And it really depended on like also Gigalith set as well. If it's Wide Guard, he 100% wins the game. But with Rockium, I would assume it's Stone Edge, Rock Slide, Curse Protect, which is pretty common. So yeah. like maybe I could have potentially won, especially since I could have also crit there. But again, I still think I got lucky, and I think there were definitely a few plays I could have made better. But hope everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 17 Back-to-Back Battles. If you did, please leave a like down below, shows your support, as well as you can check out the other stuff down below, social medias, the previous episodes, VGC 17 Back-to-Back Battles, side series. VGC 18 is around the corner in about a month. Wow, in less than a month, we're gonna have VGC 18 content. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. But yeah, hope to see you there for the road to VGC 18 and a long journey. It will be a new chapter starts there. And yeah, if you want to check out Sam's team, you can go check it out down below as well. There's the QR code of the team as well. Go give Sam Twitter a follow. And if you want, feel free to leave a comment, share with your friends, all that good stuff. But I hope everyone has a good day here, and I will catch you around in the next video.